All right, welcome back. Okay, haven't recorded for a couple of days because we were still working on preparing to fight. All right, but now it's November 3rd, and we have moved on to shot heard around the world or round the world. Okay, and so this was a focus note activity, and we started with the rotation. Okay, so we discuss what heard around the world means. When we heard about the death of Kobe Bryant, um, that was heard around the world. When we talk about September 11th, those were events that happened here in America, but the entire world was shaken by it. The same goes for the American Revolution. It was the shot heard around the world. Uh, the world was trading with the colonists and trading with Britain. Britain was a superpower back then. Okay, and anything that they did was heard around the world. But when some of their citizens or former citizens started to fight back, and that started to spread, that news of that started to spread, then it was heard around the world. So we're looking at the first battle of the American Revolution, Lexington and Concord, and we're also going to compare the Patriots and the Loyalists. Now we started our notes today. Okay, in just a moment I'll put what we at least started, so you can set up your notes at home. Okay, and if you didn't get a chance to finish setting them up in class, you can pause it in just a moment and finish setting it up. All right, here are the notes. Okay, shot heard around the world. Okay, now, we always start off with saying that these are, strategies that help you in high school and in college. All right, so you may want to pause here. And our topic is sequencing two things: sequencing the events of the Battle of Lexington and Concord and comparing the Patriots and Loyalists. Okay, and our essential question, the EQ, has not changed. It is, why did the colonists decide to break from Britain? All right, now before you start typing, there was one thing that I did change on here. So, and that was we took date, not date, um, class. I think it was class that was here. We took that out, and we're going to now put in skills, and I'll have to update that on the other forms. And our skill for this reading is sequencing and comparison. Okay, and then here are the notes if you want to pause. All right, so you have that, and loyalists are down here. You can pause here as well. You don't need to type pick or short summary of meaning or flat icon. That is, for your information, so you know what to put in this column. We read the revolution begins, okay, and you put in your information. All right, and that was pretty much it. Now, I did send a copy of the video that we looked at in Classcraft. I think I sent it to all classes. I don't know, but most classes should have a copy. If you just go to Classcraft and click on messages, you'll see the video that we use to kind of help fill in our notes after we finish reading. So take a look at that. All right, so that's all we have for you. Okay, for the shot heard around the world. If you can at least get that done. Oh, you know what? I should show you some of the sketches here as well. So if you're doing this on Google Doc, the Google Doc that I sent you, okay, you know that you can create your diagram just by clicking somewhere in the table and then go insert, and then we go drawing. Okay. So if you notice here, the first skill we want to do or display is you want to turn your sequence into some type of diagram. All right. And when we use our thinking maps, we use some type of flow map. So this is a combination of shapes. I wrote in the boxes. I also typed some things under the boxes to kind of give a brief paraphrase or description. Okay. And I would continue that until I got to the end of the battle or the conclusion of the Battle of Concord. Okay. So that might be several boxes here, maybe six maybe 5 or 6 boxes that I would continue on to show the sequencing of the Battle of Lexington. All right. Then when I save that, that pops there. I always click on in front of text so I can move it around. And then Patriots and Loyalists, you can do a number of things here because if we go insert image, I mean, you can do a T chart, drawing. You can do a tree map. And so if I can just really quick, let's see, I'm going to do a scribble. Let's say I just do a tree, something like that. Or excuse me, not a T chart. And I put Patriots on one side, Loyalists on the other, and I kind of compare them. But I am supposed to show similarities. So maybe similarities can go down at the bottom, or I can use some other part of the diagram to show that. Or I would just simply have to use the shapes here and put in, maybe some circles in the middle. Yeah, I could have done that. Let's go back to scribble. Whoops, scribble. So we go here, and then for the middle, I'll just put some shapes, perhaps, to show similarities, right? Because that's how we do on, and I can use that for some of the similarities, just like we would on a double bubble map. All right. And so once I press save, that'll show up here. My notes, I make sure it's in front of the text, grab the handles and, kind of move it around to where I want it. There we go. And again, make sure your notes are for you, right? Make sure your notes are for you. All right. So that's all I have. You all have a good rest of the day. We'll see you tomorrow. Send me any questions if you have any.